Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Hi again. So, you might hear my dogs barking in the background. So ignore that a little bit, okay? So I wanted to create this video for a very long time, but I couldn't. For a long time, as in like for some minutes now, but I couldn't wait for my dog to stop barking. So you have to just put up with it. I think it will be very light. But anyway, let's start. We are discussing keys in DBMS. There are many keys, like mostly we will be familiar with primary keys and foreign keys only. But there are many different terms that we can talk about when you're designing a DBMS, where a relational, not a DBMS, but a relational database. You might come across some terms if you are, this is from a studious perspective, you can say, for people who are giving their first rounds of interviews, they are freshers who are passing out. These kind of key questions might be something that your interviewer might ask you. And even our other videos that we have about normalization, about relations, about different kind of fields, that kind of stuff as well, that can help you pass an interview. So let's get started, right? So the first thing, primary key. Simple, nothing more than that, right? Primary key is a unique identifier for any table, right? For a student table, you can have a student ID and the student name. So this whole record will be identified by this specific student ID. This is a primary key. Candidate keys. Now candidate key is anything that can identify a row, a record in a table as very specific. So let's say if we have student ID, student name, address, and email. So we know that ID obviously is something that can identify the whole thing, but email as well for each student would be unique, right? So these two keys, both of these keys will be called as candidate keys. And one of the candidate keys is always used as the primary key, which over here we are using so the ID itself. Now every table can have multiple these things, right? They could be phone number as well, right? There could be phone number as well, which could again be a candidate key, but we are not using it as primary key. Okay, super key is a set of candidates key. Now in this relation, let's say I made a key of email and phone number, right? That would be a super key, which would include two candidate keys. It might also include name of the student, which would be unnecessary completely, but still you can add that if you want in the key. Coming to alternate key, any candidate key which is not selected as a primary key is an alternate key. For example, here SID is the primary key, then email and phone number would be alternate keys. Okay, foreign keys, simple enough. We have another relation where there's the student ID and there's some other field, let's say like class that they are attending, right? They're in 10th class, they're in 10th A, or division as well you can add. And this is the student ID 2 3, like that. So here we know that student ID is used as a foreign key. Foreign keys cannot be null. Now if you see all of these fields over here, right? All of them, all of these fields cannot be null. It's not allowed them to be null, and they all identify the tables or their records uniquely. Okay, understand that. Now moving on to some other not so important keys again. Composite key is a combination of multiple primary or candidate key. So we know for a fact a super key can be a composite key also. Okay, can be a composite key. Now if you have even like multiple primary keys, let's say, or if you have two candidate keys which are working as a primary key, that can be called as a composite key. For in our example, let's say SID and then the email and phone, this is the whole primary key. Then this whole combination will be called as a composite key. Unique key is just a rule for your uniqueness. Let's say for email, right? For email, we just added a rule over there that this should be unique. Then unique key will just verify and keep it in such a way that each value of this email field is always unique. It does not should not be duplicated with everyone else. Surrogate key. Surrogate key is anything system generated. There might be many times that you are auto incrementing keys, or you are adding like the primary keys are being generated, the IDs are being generated by itself, one, two, three, like that in that succession. Then that is a surrogate key. It's not something that you are making yourself, but the database is making for you. Natural key is like something that is found in the real world, right? So like for example, ID is not natural because that is something that we are creating, or the data, either we are creating or the database is creating, right? On the other hand, there's a thing called email, which is a real world thing. This could be called a natural key too. This could be called a natural key because it's found in nature, it's found in the real world. Same with the phone number. Now that is a natural key again. Now, these all concepts, understanding these all concepts will just help you to understand how to create a database, how to understand how to design a database. And at the end, it will help you to find your unique keys, or your composite keys, your primary keys, and you will understand how you should, which key specifically you have to index upon, right? For better understanding, for better search of the record, for better uniqueness of the record. So you may be able to get quick results from your database and decrease the execution time. Now these things are very important for that reason. So but still, for now, that's all. Thank you for your time for watching. And if you have gotten any information from it, please comment, please tell me, let me know if there is anything I need to change, if anything I need to do differently. And if you have any questions, please come forward. Thank you for watching.